So there's a video that's been doing the rounds on the internet since last week. It's titled Questions Women Have for Indian Men. And last I checked, I'm an Indian man, so let me get right into it and answer these questions for them.
You pee with a hard-on?
Yes, every morning. That is how our morning wood goes flaccid.
अब तुम इतना घूरता काहे को है रे? ऐसा ऐसा करके आँखें बनाकर? Why do you stare?
Staring is an action that is not confined to men. Both men and women stare. I am stared at because I have long locks. People stare. Indians in general stare a lot. Also, staring is what I'm doing right now. Not staring is what you talk about. This is not staring. This is staring. Not staring.
Why don't you change your underwear more often? Like, জলের সাথে দুশমনি আছে?
I change my underwear every day, and I'm sure most guys do too. We keep our groins pretty clean, and hence it becomes really important that we do change our underwear every day. I think this was a question for your boyfriend. Maybe you should talk to him about hygiene.
Why do you have such a big fat ego?
How on earth do I even answer such a question?
Why do you make such a big deal during cricket matches like, you know, you're on the field? Oh, इसको ऐसे ball करना चाहिए था. Oh, इसको ये करना चाहिए था. You're not there. Just chill out, calm your tits, okay?
Not every guy watches cricket. I don't watch cricket. I know plenty of guys that don't watch cricket either. I watch UFC, and that's the only sport I care to watch. And even if I did watch cricket, what is your problem with it? I'll stop screaming while I'm watching cricket the day you stop crying while you're watching romantic comedies and your soap operas for that matter.
Hockey के साथ इतना step brotherly treatment क्यों?
Not every guy watches hockey either. What's your point over here?
What's with the aggression, man? Stop overcompensating, na? Chill the hell out.
So when you're saying overcompensation, I'm assuming you're saying penis, right? Smaller the penis, the greater the aggression. And everyone knows only men are capable of rudimentary emotions like aggression. Women can't be aggressive because by your logic, only a person who has a penis can be aggressive. Especially a person with a small penis, greater the aggression. What an insufferable piece of gelatin you are.
What's with the beard? Like, trim it at least, you know, if you're not going to go clean shaving, although that's something you should try.
What's with the 1950s haircut? My fucking face.
Why am I a Diane, Jurel, bitch, whore, slut if I wear red lipstick? Why?
You're none of those. Maybe a clown? Frankly, men don't even care about your lipstick. I don't care about your lipstick, and most men don't care about your lipstick either. Women judge each other for their shades of lipstick than men. We frankly don't give a damn.
Why do you judge women who wear makeup? I mean, what's your problem?
Again, men don't care about your cosmetics. You can put cake icing on your face and I wouldn't care. Right? We can't even tell the difference between your 200 shades of red. It's women who judge other women on their cosmetics. We have better things to do, like judging you on your terribly stupid argument.
And the man bun, oh my god, if you're still doing it, darling, you gotta go back like 10 years.
I'll go back 10 years, you go back to the 1950s.
Why do you have to pee everywhere and not inside the commode? Why? What's up, guys? Use your tool nicely. Use your tool nicely.
We know how to aim our tool. Are you sure you're not talking about your dog who's constantly marking his territory inside your house? Or maybe your boyfriend has severe nerve damage, maybe a complete loss of motor skills. You could help him out nicely.
भाइयों, ये mansplaining माँ के पेट से सीख कर आए हो कि वक्त ने किया कोई हंसी सितम?
ये गोबर सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर माँ के पेट से सीख के आई हो या वक्त ने करा कोई हंसी सितम?
भाई साहब, मेरा चेहरा इधर है. कृपया करके इधर नहीं देखें और इधर देखें.
पर मुझे तो दोनों तरफ ही नहीं देखना.
तू तो मेरा वीर है. क्यों? Like क्यों? Just because I don't wear makeup doesn't mean मैं तेरा वीर हूँ. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Stop judging me on that and stop calling me your veer. I'm not your veer.
You got brozoned by a guy? What a legend he is. I'll buy him a beer.
Why on earth would you think that it is okay to sexually manipulate us into doing things we don't really want to do? For what? Love?
How exactly does a man sexually manipulate a woman? How? I'm clueless. We can't really go out and say, alright, you're going to miss out on this if you don't sleep with me. We can't. But you can. And you do. It's very easy for you to sexually manipulate us and get us to do things that we don't want to do. Understand that the power play over here is in your hands. You control this entire thing.
What's the deal with your homophobia? तुमको लगता है कि हर गे बॉय जो तुमको कॉफी के लिए बोलता है या अच्छी से बात करता है वो तुम्हारा पैंट्स में घुसना चाहता है? crazy है क्या?
To answer your question, by the popular culture, asking someone out for a cup of coffee generally has a romantic connotation. If you watch any movie, if you have watched any movies, which I'm sure you have, or sitcoms or anything for that matter in the popular culture, when a person has to ask another person out on a date, a romantic date, it generally asks them out for a cup of coffee. If we were in a hypothetical scenario, however, and a homosexual man was supposed to ask me out for a cup of coffee, a friendly cup of coffee, not a romantic one, I would oblige that person by going out with that person for a friendly cup of coffee or beer, one or the other. Also, I'm almost certain you're the kind of woman who thinks that every man who talks to you nicely wants to get inside your pants. तुमको यही लगता होगा कि हर आदमी जो तुमसे ढंग से बात करता है तुम्हारा पैंट्स में घुसना चाहता है.
दादा, public है ना? Stop adjusting your crotch and your balls like that. How will you feel if you start doing that with our boobs?
You do that, you deluded fool. You adjust your tube tops and your bra straps, and in case you didn't realize that, these garments contain your boobs. Just in case you didn't realize that. Also, you're very fond of doing social experiments. Third wave feminists are very fond of doing social experiments. So I've got one for you. Walk in my shoes. That's what it'll be called. Now what I want you to do is wear a strap on and then wear an underwear on top of it. If you happen to adjust this strap on, this thing that you're wearing, even once in the entire day, your gender studies degrees would be revoked.
I know you feel good, but I'm sorry, I don't feel good about you playing with your thing in public.
So adjusting my balls is equal to playing? You obviously have no idea what playing actually is. And also, I don't feel good about you staring at me while I am playing with my balls. My hands, my balls.
Why is a man experienced if he's been with a lot of women, but if I've been with a lot of men, I'm a slut?
Whom do you think they're considered experienced by? Whom? Other men? Do you think we go out, hug each other and congratulate each other for our experience? Or do you think it's by other women that men are considered experienced, if they are considered experienced as you say? And if they are, when do you think the scenario arises where a woman says to a man, you're experienced? When does that happen according to you? No one is congratulated or given adulations for being experienced, right? No woman wants a man who has had a habit of sleeping around, and no man wants a woman like that either. I personally don't care about you, I don't know you, so you can go out, sleep around with the entire Indian subcontinent, I would not care. Being a man or a woman is not going to exempt you from being called names by society, alright? And experienced, I want this to get into that thick skull of yours. Experienced is not one of those names, trust me.
What do you think we are, children? We can't take the truth?
The truth about what? That's a very vague question. It would help if you could be a little more specific the next time.
Why do you think it's okay to say, thoda 1-2 kilo gain ho gaya na? They are my kilos. You cannot comment on that.
Shayad kyunki ho gayi ho? Maybe there's a difference between the last time I saw you and this time that I'm seeing you. Maybe I'm worried about your health. Maybe I like you lean. I can have preferences after all, can't I? More than that though, let me put an example forth for you to understand better. If I go home today and I cut off my long locks and I shave my beard and I see you the next time, are you not going to ask me if I did something to my hair? And if you do ask me that, should I reply by saying, oh, my locks, how can you comment on my locks?
Hey, hi, you there? Hello. Hey girl, hey dear, hey. Wanna make friendship? No, I don't. What is wrong with you? Learn to take a hint. I mean, this is not even a hint. It's like a slap, a punch in the face. I don't want to make friendship with you. Stop messaging me.
Okay, I agree with that. Indian men are generally terrible at starting conversations online, flirting for that matter.
Why are you so ashamed of my bra strap?
Ashamed? No, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm ashamed I share oxygen with you, but I don't care about your bra strap at all.
Why do you find it so hard to be honest with the women in your life?
Because you claim to want honesty, but I assure you, You're incapable of handling that without making a scene.
রাস্তায় কোনো মেয়েকে বাটন খোলা শার্ট পরে দেখলে stop telling them to button in their shirts up. It just makes you look like a creep.
Keep your shirt unbuttoned. I personally don't care. And it's generally in professional setting where people are told to button up their shirts. Men and women are both told to button up their shirts. You're not special. It doesn't happen just to you. It happens to us all.
What is with the Madonna whore complex? Like, why the distinction between women you want to fuck and women you want to marry?
Ooh, look, I'm so deep. What are you asking me for? I'm not a psychoanalyst. The person who coined the word was a psychoanalyst. His name was Sigmund Freud, which I'm absolutely sure you're aware of since you know of this term. He explained it. He coined the damn word and he mansplained it to you. You've read his explanation, but you think it's really important to ask us, as if we're going to give you new answers for it. We, the general population, are going to give you new, more insightful answers for something you already explained. You just like tossing that word around, so people think you're really smart, even though your IQ is definitely in the 2-digit spectrum. Now, an equally cryptic and an equally stupid answer for the general Indian woman would be, what is with the Electra complex?
क्यों लगता है I need your money? Like, I don't need your green thing. I need your grey matter. नहीं हैगा. I know you don't have it. So, no. Not interested in your green matter either.
Oh, so you want my grey matter. Excellent. Let's talk about things that interest you. Something that we mutually have in common. Maybe art? No. Music? No. No, idiom nahi. Maybe philosophy. Biology? Chemistry? Maybe astronomy? No, astrology nahi. You know, your argument would have had a lot more weightage if this video had demonstrably shown that. If you would have chosen your questions a little more carefully. I don't believe you have any grey matter, let alone some, after watching this video. Also, by the end of your question, you seem to be saying something that baffles me entirely. Are you saying you would have been interested in my green matter under the prerequisite that I had grey matter?
I have body hair. Yes, I do. I mean, look at this. Zoom into this. Okay, there's loads of hair here, and there's loads of hair here, and everywhere on my body. We're not infants. Every adult has body hair. Deal with it. I'm not going to go through a painful procedure to just satisfy your standards of whatever a woman is supposed to look like. I'm sorry, your body is hairy as hell. I mean, your legs feel like Scotch Brite against mine. I don't tell you to wax or shave. I would though. I mean, you have more hair, so men should technically shave. Why do women do it? I don't even understand.
In today's age, men get their body hair removed just as much as women, in case you didn't notice that. It's because women write articles on the internet, page after page. You can find women writing articles saying that how important it is for a man to manscape. Why? Why should we do that? We ideally shouldn't, because if you don't realize, we have skin just like you. We don't have scales, alright? We get rashes and it itches us and we have breakouts. It's a painful procedure just as much for us as it is for you. And it's very hypocritical of you to say that you shouldn't remove your body hair, you shouldn't do this because you think men want you to do this. When in this very video, this other person, your friend I presume, has spoken multiple times about how we should scrape our body hair, be it on our faces or be it on our head. Also, why should I go through a painful procedure just to satisfy your standards of what a man is supposed to look like? Why?
Why do you always stare at my crotch? Like, why? Like, এতটাও লেভেলে থারকি হওয়ার কোনো দরকার নেই. Okay?
Your crotch? Whoa. Alright, just a second. Men don't like looking at crotches, to be fairly honest. Yes, we are fond of looking at the bosom and the posterior, but crotches is something I haven't heard before. No man wants to look at your crotch, I assure you.
जब भी मेकअप करके आती हूँ तो ये क्यों बोलते हो मेकअप थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया ना?
शायद क्योंकि ज़्यादा हो गया हो? Maybe that's the reason. No one wants to walk around with a possessed clown hand in hand.
What do you think we are, children? We can't take the truth?
No, you can't. I already answered this. You can't seem to handle anything without creating a scene. It's one of your prerequisites, I guess.
Why do you think just because I'm wearing glitter eyeliner, I don't know what GST is?
I'm sure you know about GST. I'm sure you read about it right after you finished applying that glitter eyeliner.
Why do you think exactly sexist jokes are okay? Because you know what? When I do that with you, you get hella offended. So either like play the game from both sides or just keep it to yourself.
Maybe you're not funny. Maybe the joke wasn't either. Or maybe, just stay with me here. Maybe both.
If women can hold it till we get home, then why do men have to whip out their you-know-whats in the middle of the road and pee right in front of everyone? It's really disgusting. Why do you guys do that?
Correction. On the side of the road, not in the middle. But let's talk facts over here. India has a serious problem with public convenience and its availability. All right, it's there. We have a serious problem with that. And if you go to the rural areas, you'll find that just as many women as men pee in the middle of the road. All right, it's there in the rural areas. So I don't think it's as big of a gendered issue as it's more of a general welfare issue. But I do agree to one thing, all right, and this is me extending an olive branch over here, but I do agree to one thing. People don't make as big of a scene if a man is seen being on the side of the road. People generally don't. Compared if a woman was doing that, that would be a problem. So you have my sympathies for this.
I'm wearing pink lipstick. Am I asking for it?
That's a very vague question. If you could be a little more specific the next time, it would be really helpful. I, however, will address it nonetheless. I'm not sure when you say asking for it, what do you mean? Do you mean mansplaining? Do you mean being catcalled? Do you mean rape? Because that's generally where all feminist narratives boil down to. Since if we are talking about rape, and I'm presuming that we are, because that's the topic that you like to address the most, a rapist does not care what lipstick you're wearing. All right, a rapist does not care whether you're asking for it. A rapist rapes, as a murderer murders. A murderer does not care whether you're asking for it. A liar does not care whether you're asking for a lie. People do these heinous things because they do these heinous things. It has nothing to do with what lipstick you're wearing. It has nothing to do with what cosmetic is applied on your face. I hope you understand this. Now, I want this to be very clear. I'm not defending rape or a rapist or a murderer or someone who was murdered. I'm not defending these absolutely inhuman crimes. I'm not. I'm just saying that your argument is a load of bollocks.
Bros, what is your problem with women who wear like clothes of their choice, some of which are short? I mean, get over the goddamn miniskirt, yo. Check your male gaze instead.
Why must you keep throwing this SJW jargon? Why must you keep adding male behind every word that is otherwise unisexual? Male gaze, mansplaining. Why? Why do you do that? Also, in case you haven't noticed, it's generally elder women who judge younger women on what clothes they're wearing. Alright? So instead of telling me, go and ask an elder woman not to judge younger women on what they're wearing instead.
Why do you hate on your ex-girlfriend so much? And my ex-boyfriend. What did he ever do to you?
You're asking me, a random Indian man, on how I feel about your ex-boyfriend? I don't hate your ex-boyfriend, and I don't hate my ex-girlfriend either.
Why do you guys have a problem with anything to do with periods? Like, do you not know they exist? Everything from tampons to pads to whatever it might be. Like, what's the deal?
We know they exist. There are more sanitary napkin ads on the television than there are about things that men require for their grooming. So we understand that they exist, and we understand what these napkins and all are for. I call your argument absolute bullshit, by the way. And most women would agree with me on this. Men are nothing but overtly considerate of you when you go through your monthly cycles. Alright, we are. We try to overcompensate for the pain that you claim to be in by being extra nice to you, by doing things that we otherwise perhaps don't do. We get you chocolates, we make chicken soup for you, we do all sorts of crazy things for you because you claim to be in pain, in writhing agony. In most middle and most upper middle financial backgrounds, in most families, the concept of going out and buying the monthly groceries is fairly prevalent. Now in my household, and I know many people in their households as well, if it was the men who went out and bought the monthly groceries and bought the monthly requirements of the household, sanitary napkins were included in that. Just because your father didn't do that does not mean no one else does.
That's disgusting. How would you feel if somebody walked up to you and did that to you in person? Hey, hi. That's crazy. That is borderline insane, and you just, forget social media etiquette. What is wrong with you, man?
Really? Have you seen fangirls? The ones that go out and surround celebrities? The ones that cut themselves on social media and scream and cry? Have you? Do you not think they require some etiquette? Do you not think they are borderline insane?
You need to stop telling me to button up my shirt every time you see me, okay, in public. Like, it was probably intentional. Like, can you stop being such a creep, especially if you're 40 or 50?
Huh? Again with the unbuttoned shirt? I don't care about your unbuttoned shirt. No one wants to see your unbuttoned shirt. I assure you, you deluded fool. I have never seen you, and I pray to God I never have the misfortune of seeing you either. But if I was to see you, and if you had an unbuttoned shirt, or even if you were walking around naked, I would look at you once, only to be repulsed forever.
Why am I a bitch for refusing a drink at the bar? I don't want it.
So someone once called you a bitch. Some random man called you a bitch for refusing his drink. And now you think every man does that? What?
Sweaty photos on social media. Why?
Sweaty photos? That's too specific to not be an attack on someone from your friend list, which is very dishonorable. You should talk to them face to face. But hypothetically, if I was putting sweaty photos on the internet, if I was putting it on social media, maybe, hypothetically, maybe I was doing it in retaliation of you putting those ridiculous selfies with your pouts and your Snapchat dog filters that absolutely annoy me.
What's up with those 3 a.m. messages? I don't need those messages. I need my beauty sleep, guys, not those booty calls.
The beauty sleep is not working.
What's with saying, if you love me, you'll do this, you'll make me a sandwich, you'll let me hang out with my boys like all the time, you'll jump off a fucking cliff.
This may come as a surprise to you, but when people are in love, they do things for each other, alright? They make sandwiches, they jump off the fucking cliff, as you say it. I find it very disturbing, and it's extremely saddening as well that your boyfriend has to resort to the point where he has to ask you to make a sandwich to prove your love for him. Because otherwise you say what? I'm not going to make you a sandwich because I'm a feminist? Because making a sandwich is oppressing you? Really? Also, I guess he hangs out with his boys, with his lads, with his bros more because he enjoys their company better than your insipid banter. And I guess congratulations are in order. You either survived the cliff jump or you lost a boyfriend. Either way is congratulations, woman.
Why is it so hard for you to understand that for a woman to be a homemaker is way more tougher than your 9 to 8 wala job and does not deserve your judgment?
I don't judge women who are homemakers, and most guys don't either. Most guys are fine if their woman wants to stay in the house and manage the house. We are fine with that. That does not mean you have to, but if you do, we are absolutely fine with that. My own mother is a homemaker. I respect her very much. What's your point over here? You're insinuating something that is obviously not true.
Like, the moment a guy has a crush on a girl, like, he just stops shaving. Like, do you think the atel look is like working better for you than the clean shaven look, which makes you look like a decent human being who takes a shower daily?
Why is it that when a woman has a crush on a man, she starts binge eating and gains a ton of weight? Do you think the whale look is doing better for you than a physically fit look and makes you look healthy and appealing? It's a joke, it's a joke. Don't burn my effigies just yet. Do you see the inherent double standards lying over here? For a woman to body shame a man for something that grows naturally on his face would not be body shaming compared to what I just did, in which I just changed certain words from here and there, but in essence the sentence is the same. And now I would definitely, absolutely, certainly would be a chauvinistic male pig.
Why do you think it's okay to say, थोड़ी मोटी हो गई हो?
शायद क्योंकि हो गई हो? You've bought this weight issue for the second or the third time, I think. Please come up with something new.
Why do you not clean your feet? I mean, in between your toes, a little bit of scrubbing. You know, do it once in a while, please.
I agree, we don't very often, and maybe we should. I think it's because, unlike you, we don't really expose our feet all that much. What I mean by that is, we don't decorate them like Christmas trees and flaunt them off. We don't. For us, it's just flesh and bone that help us transport from point A to point B, and hence I think we don't really pay a lot of heed into beautifying it.
What is with the homophobia? Why do you think all the gay men are after you? Like, you know, just because somebody who's homosexual is asking you for a cup of coffee or being nice to you does not really mean that he's trying to hit on you, man. Like, get it straight. Like, don't get so hassled, you know. What is with this pseudo homophobia, this underlying current?
I've already answered this question before. What's the point? You're just recycling questions now, especially you, that makeup girl, and the girl who's obsessed with her shirt unbuttoned.
Why do you think you deserve so much respect just because you were born a man? You haven't achieved anything important in life by having certain kinds of genitalia. So please get over it. I'm not supposed to touch your feet or, you know, listen to what you're saying just because you're a man and you're my boyfriend or something. That's not how it works. You just have to be a person who's respectable, and being male has nothing to do with it.
I agree. Gender should not be a precondition for respect. But it just seems to me that it's very hypocritical of you to say that, since this entire video is you judging an entire gender and you aren't very respectful about it. These generalized notions that you have of an entire gender aren't the most respectable ones. I don't respect you for your shitty opinions. I don't care about your gender. You can be any gender you want to. All of those make-believe genders that you made up. I don't care. I don't respect you because you're asking terribly stupid questions. You got a platform. You could have asked some sort of productive questions, but you chose to spend it on these absolutely juvenile, stupid beyond imagination, cringeworthy questions.
Why are you so scared of showing your true emotions?
Because when we do, you call us sissies and you call us man babies. And the one emotion that society permits us to show is aggression, which generally the society does not think less of us as a man if we show aggression. But in this video, you've mocked us for that as well. It seems to me in this video you keep talking about us trying to overcompensate for something which I'm guessing you mean our minuscule manhood by means of aggression. That's very productive of you. Makes me want to express all the more. So if you remember, there was this video that came out a few years ago. I think it was by Vogue. It was this montage of shots of little boys, young boys, teenage boys crying in the entire video. And in the entire video, the society keeps telling them, boys don't cry. So I thought it's a good video. I was watching this video the other day. Now by the end of the video, I thought that the conclusion would be it's alright for boys to cry. But the narrative changes completely, and by the end of the video, Madhuri Dixit comes on screen and she says, instead of telling boys not to cry, you should tell them not to make women cry. So everything has to be about you, isn't it? You ignorant fucking amoeba.
Stop telling me to adjust my bra. I spent like half my salary on this. Like, I want people to see it, babies.
Half your salary on a brassiere? The salary must be really, really low. And I assure you, no one wants to see. And I've got a question. Half of your colleagues say we shouldn't look, and now you want people to look. Why don't you make up your goddamn mind, woman?
Why do you find it offensive to know how to cook? Like, is it just the job of the ladies around the house? It's really bad that you know how to cook? Like, what? What is that?
The best chefs in the world are men. Shut the fuck up.
Why do men think every single problem we have or every argument we have happens because we're PMSing. Maybe you're not a nice person and you're doing something that I don't like.
But from this video, I think I'm doing everything right. Also, periods do affect your mood. Science, in case you didn't know. And lastly, if you have a problem, learn to communicate. We are not psychics. We're not supposed to figure out what you're thinking. You have to talk to us. Learn to communicate to women.
Just because I like to dress up or या मुझे makeup करना पसंद है doesn't mean I want to be an actress. Stop calling me Kareena Kapoor.
Being compared to a stunningly beautiful woman is bad. How? I'm sure life is very difficult for you. You know, considering you're a conventionally attractive female. Oh, woe is you. Woe is you.
Why? Why on earth are you such a mama's boy?
Because I love my mother. Why do you have daddy issues?
What is with the overcompensation, you know, by this wild show of masculinity by means of aggression or, you know, a certain kind of abrasiveness?
Overcompensation के अलावा कोई शब्द आता है? Also, what's with the overcompensation by this wild show of your terribly dull personality by stitching together random words in hopes of making a point, though you do the exact opposite of making a point? Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed my answers to this menagerie of lobotomized subhumans. What I want you to do now is leave a comment down below asking Indian women some equally dumb questions. Stay as close to the source material as possible. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and show your support. Thank you and cheers.